With the mRNA vaccines, it's a bit more like we kind of described as plug and play. You can put different bits of genetic material into a vaccine. Well,
that was nearly a Freudian slip. I almost said DNA.
Alarmed last night at a new virus known as HMPV. It's known as HMPV, not HPV. It's known as HMPV, which has gone through New South Wales. We're talking 1,100 cases here. It's gotten quite serious.
1,100 cases in the last week.
In the last week?
Yes.
So how bad is this going to get? Because last time we talked about something like this, we shut the world down.
No. So this is a virus we've known about for more than 20 years now.
Oh, OK.
It is one that we look at in the regular respiratory panel. So if your children are quite unwell, we might do a respiratory virus panel, where we do the swab of their nose. It is, for some children and some adults, they can have quite a serious illness, and that's why we do test for it. But for most people, it falls into that spectrum of respiratory illnesses that we get.
Coughs, cold, rain
exactly.
nose.
So similar symptoms to a cold?
Yeah, similar symptoms, and it's just a question of whether you've had it before. If we've been exposed to things before, we will often have a more mild response. We've built up antibodies.
So how do you know if you've had it?
This is the very good question. We're probably under-testing or under-diagnosing it because it looks very similar to the many dozens of other respiratory viruses you can get. But in addition, we know that because it fits into that normal spectrum, most people don't need a test for it. What they need is the good preventative measures, which is, looking after yourself, getting plenty of sleep. If you start getting respiratory symptoms, don't give them to your co-workers. Try and stay home where you can. Cover your cough.
It'll knock you about, though. I mean, can they roll into a vaccine with like this mega vaccine we're looking at for the next few years?
Experts say the best way to mitigate future outbreaks is by keeping up with vaccination.
Like this mega vaccine we're looking at for the next few years?
Well, that will be the thing. This with the mRNA vaccines, it's a bit more like we kind of described as plug and play. You can put different bits of genetic material into a vaccine, and that's why we're suddenly having this kind of golden era of potentially new vaccines to cover things that previously were quite dangerous, or just there was no opportunity to actually develop a good vaccine. So a really interesting time for vaccine development, and potentially for this alongside lots of other viruses being targets for a vaccine.
It's just science, eh?
Mind-blowing, isn't it?